Most people think that you need a dozen expensive tools, the latest clear workflow, and weeks of setup to start with cold outreach, but that's wrong. And in this video, I'm going to show you how you can start with cold outreach in a day with less than $200 a month to be able to reach out to 3,000 leads every month. So I won't talk about complex automations, tools, or workflows. I'm just going to talk about the essentials that actually work when you start with cold outreach. If you're new here, my name is Romain Osman. I co-founded 5element, and over the past years, we've generated over 1,000 sales appointments for B2B companies and millions in pipeline using cold emailing and LinkedIn outreach. So let's get started. So the first step is to define your ICP. Right now, I'm on Apollo.io because in 95% of cases, your ICP will be on Apollo. But if, for example, you're targeting local businesses, chances are you're going to miss a lot of leads if you focus only on Apollo. So you can use tools like this one, OpenWeb Ninja, and you will be able to scrape Google Maps. But in our case, we're going to focus on Apollo because probably the data of your ideal customers is available on Apollo. So for Apollo, you don't need a paid account. Right now, I'm on a free account. That's why I don't have access to all of the filters. But not all filters are important. So in 90% of cases, you won't need a paid account because you won't need to have access to technologies or revenue. Either way, revenue is a useless filter. Or you won't need people lookalike, company lookalike. Most of the times, we're not using those kind of filters. So a free account is more than enough. I already have a full tutorial on my YouTube channel talking only about Apollo. So I'm not going to go through every filter in this video, but I'm just going to talk about the main filters that you will probably need to start with your first export of Apollo. So the first filter and the main filter that we will need here is the job title filter. And in most cases here, the best way to find the best job titles is to ask ChatGPT or Claude. So you create a prompt where you describe your services and the kinds of companies that you want to reach out to. And you ask it, what are the best job titles to contact if I'm doing cold outreach? And it's going to give you a long list of job titles, and you can add them here directly. Something that can also be important here will be to exclude job titles. So for example, if you want to contact owners of companies, you're going to add here owners or owner. But the problem here is that it's going to add the product owners. So here you will want to remove the job title product. You don't add product owner, you just add product, and it's going to remove all of the job titles where product is mentioned. So as you can see here, it was 2.8 million leads, and now you have only 2.6 million leads. So it removed all of the product owners. Then you will need to choose the location. So you can either choose the location of the contact or the location of the company. So you can decide here what's the most relevant based on your services and what you're offering. Then you will want to use the filter employees. So that's the employee account. So that's a filter that will be replacing the revenue filter in a sense, because the revenue filter here, first of all, is not available when you have a free account. But even if you have a paid account on Apollo, it's not accurate at all. So it's better to use the employee filter. So here you can use the same method as for the job titles. So you can use ChatGPT or Claude. You can ask, I want to reach out to companies making, for example, 5 million in revenue minimum. And they're in those industries. In general, how many employees do they have? Because it's very dependent on the kinds of companies that you will be targeting. For like a tech company that is making $1 million in revenue will have less employees than a manufacturing company making $1 million in revenue. So here you just need to ask ChatGPT and it's going to give you an estimation and you can add it here. So you have the predefined range or you have the custom range. Here, the employees that are listed are the employees that are on the LinkedIn page of the company. So for example, for manufacturing companies, most of the times the employees, the majority of the employees are not listed on LinkedIn. So if it's showing you that a manufacturing company has 20 employees, chances are they're more around 40, 60, and it can be even more than that. So it's not accurate for all industries, but you can discuss that with ChatGPT, and it's going to give you the best way to do it with the filters that you have here. And the last filter that you will want to use is the industry and keywords filter. So you can either choose here the industries that you want, or if you don't find the right kind of industry because sometimes you want something more precise, you can add here the keywords. And again, you can ask ChatGPT to give you a list of keywords based on your ICP. And of course, again, you can exclude industries and exclude keywords. So you can try to add some industries and then check manually one by one the companies. And if some of them don't fit your criteria, you can then remove some keywords to remove those kinds of companies that you don't want. I've added some filters here, and as you can see, I have 32,000 leads at the end. Try to have a bare minimum 3,000 leads in your research, even more around 5,000 if it's possible, because at the end, when you're going to export the leads and verify the email addresses, you're going to have to exclude at least 30-40% of your list, because a lot of them will be invalid emails, and so you won't be able to contact them. So when you're ready to export, you're just taking the URL here and you're going to paste it in AmpleLeads. So AmpleLead is an Apollo scraper. They also can scrape Ocean.io and Sales Navigator. But in our case, we're going to use it for Apollo scraper. So you paste your link here. You're selecting the number of leads that you want to export. So in our case, we want to reach out to 3,000 leads per month. So we will want to export at least 5,000 leads. You add the name here and then you can start scraping. So then you just need to wait 24 hours to 48 hours and you're going to receive your file. And as you can see, for $29 a month, you will be able to export 11,500 leads every month. So that's a lot better than paying directly for Apollo.io. After the 24 hours to 48 hours, you will have your export ready. So it will be here and you just need to export it as a CSV or as a Google Sheet. By the way, if you'd rather have my team build and run the entire outbound system for you, just hit the first link in the description to book a call with me. We can talk about whether it makes sense for us to work together or not. All right, back to the video. Then we need to verify the email addresses. So in our case, we're going to use Debounce because that's one of the best tools on the market to verify the email addresses. And it's very cost effective. As you can see, you can buy 10,000 credits for only $15. So you import your CSV in bulk validation and you wait 20-30 minutes and it's going to give you all of the valid emails that you can reach out to. Now let's talk about the technical setup because we want to contact 3,000 leads every month. So we will need to know how many domains and how many inboxes we need to be able to send that volume of emails, or at least to contact that amount of people every month. So I created this calculator to be able to know how many inboxes you need. So I will put the link in the description. And so here you add the number of leads that you want to contact every day. So in our case, it will be 150 leads a day. Number of emails that you want to send per lead, I recommend either just 1 or 2, nothing more than that. So in our case, let's put 2. Total sending days per month, 22, because we want to avoid weekends. Google inbox limit, we want to limit it to 20. We can go up to 25, but 20 is a good number in general. You can even go down to 15, but in our case, let's choose 20. And for the number of inboxes that we'll keep in backup, let's put it at 0% because we want to use all of the inboxes. We want it to be cost effective, so we're going to use all of them. Then we have Google Inbox Share. So in our case, we're going to put 100%, meaning all of the inboxes that we'll be creating will be from Google. If I put 50% here, it means that half of them will be from Google, half of them will be from Microsoft. So in our case, will be simple. We'll create all of them with Google. And so as you can see, we will need 15 Google inboxes to be able to reach out to 150 leads every month. And so for that, we'll need 5 domains. So 3 inboxes per domain. So that's 5. Next, we need to buy the domains. So you can either buy .com domains. Most of the times they're at $10 or $12 per domain. Or you can buy .info domain if you want a more cost-effective way to start with cold outreach. And the .info domains on Spaceship are at $2.5. So if you buy 5 domains, in our case we need 5 domains, you will pay around $12. So it's very good to start with cold outreach. Then you need to buy Google Inboxes. So the best way to do it is to buy them through a reseller like Premium Inboxes. They have a platform, they have very good service. So use a platform like that. You can buy inboxes for $3.5. So in our case, we want 15 inboxes, so we'll need to pay around $50 a month. And so in that case, you don't need to do any of the setup. You just give them access to Spaceship or to Cloudflare if you bought the domain on Cloudflare, and they create the inboxes, they add everything that needs to be added on the DNS, and they're even adding your inboxes through your Smartlead account or Instantly account. Then you need to create your copy. So in my last video, I gave an example on how we would create a copy for a company called Bipit. But in this video, I'm going to give you some guidelines. To have a great copy, you need a great offer. And to create a great offer, you can read the book of Alex Hormozi. If you didn't read it yet, it's $100 million offer. And if you didn't read the book, you can use ChatGPT. And again, you tell it everything about your company, your services, your target audience, and you ask it to create an offer based on the book of Alex Hormozi. And the best way to do it is to ask for a lot of different offers. This way you can pick what's the best for you. Next, you need to keep it simple. Don't use complicated words. A children has to be able to understand what you're saying. So don't complicate your copy. Keep it short, less than 75 words or even less than 50 words if it's possible, because people go through their emails very fast. If it's bulky, if there are many words, many sentences and big paragraphs, they're just going to skip it directly. If it's short, they might at least take a look at the first sentence. And if the first sentence is straight to the point and makes them want to read more, then they're going to read the second sentence, etc. But if at first it's very bulky, they're not even going to read the first sentence. So keep it very short. Also, 2 other good guidelines is to talk about their pain points and only talk about the benefits of your services, not the features. Sometimes there is a place for the features, but in most cases, just talking about the benefits is enough. And lastly, create 2 to 3 variations. So you can do some iteration and see what's working best. This way, you will know what to work on next. So step 5 is the final step. So we need to put everything together. So you need a Smartlead account or Instantly account. In our case, we like to use Smartlead. So you need to add your mailboxes. If you created them with premium inboxes, they're going to do it for you. So you don't need to do this step. Then you need to create a campaign. You need to add your copy in the campaign, add the leads, and do the whole setup. I have a full tutorial on my YouTube channel talking about how to create a campaign on Smartlead and how to set up everything. So I'm going to add the link in the description. So Smartlead is at $97, so that's the most expensive tool that you will be using here, but the total budget is around $200. I mean, it's less than $200. Of course, you won't flood your calendar with meetings with that kind of setup, but at least you can start getting some appointments without complicated, clear workflow or paying for expensive tools. So that's it for the video. Now, if you want us to build and run the entire outbound system for you, so you can just focus on closing deals and not focus on this whole lead generation thing, you can just hit the first link in the description to book a call with me. And if you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe. I'll be posting more content and tutorials on how to help you with your outbound strategy. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.